Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the new big patch for Deadlock. Added ranked mode. We are experimenting with a different approach to the ranked during early development. We expect to iterate it in the future. The focus on this mode will be on concentrating players into specific time windows where they can opt into games where the primary focus is on game quality. So this is not just an open ranked mode yet, which makes sense because it's obviously early access. You have 50 games played to enter this mode, and you cannot have any behavior restrictions. The queue will be solo only, and it's open from 1 to 4 p.m. and 7 to 10 p.m. in whatever time zone you're playing. Each region will have multiple time zones you can select from to find what fits your schedule, but you can only change your selection once per week, so people can't abuse just playing in the multiple time zones. For now, it's solo only, and I think that's just because they need to like fix the matchmaking and stuff first. So this is all just testing. Remember, one thing it's important to remember, guys, this is not a completed game. This is still for early development. It's for them to test everything they need to test. So solo only in ranked mode, I'm sure that's for me included. I would love to play with Red and Ziptie and so on, but I do understand that they have to start somewhere. So that makes perfect sense. And then every Tuesday at 8 p.m. GMT, we will run an algorithm that calculates everyone's performance together at the same time based on the games we played and so on. So you get a medal once per week. So there are 11 medals in total with 6 levels in each. And the medal and levels will be displayed in these ranked games. So that is sick. And this starts next Tuesday. So next Tuesday, ranked will update. Yes! Added a third casting mode, quick casts. So for those of you who don't know, quick cast, this is what a lot of people use in MOBAs. It's essentially that when you press down your button, it shows the indicator of a spell, and then when you release the button, it casts it. This way, you only still need to press the button once, but you have the option to also see the range indicator. So instant cast just throws it, you don't see an indicator. And with confirm cast, you have to press mouse 1. And then finally, you have the new one, which is quick cast, where you hold down 1 and then you release it and you go. This is definitely the one I recommend using in a lot of cases. Input buffering for ability usage. So if you cast an ability and then quickly cast another ability during its cast time, the next one will fire instead of input being dropped. I think this was one of the things that caused a lot of issues for BEBOP, because you would press a lot of buttons very quickly and sometimes that would mess up the combo. This should make it a lot easier because that means that as long as you click them in correct order, they will be queued up. Let me see how they show that. Input buffering. Oh, yeah. So he presses, see that? He presses his slash and then, cool. Okay, that's nice. Now displaying a unique ID for builds in the description section of the build browser. You can click it to copy the build ID to the clipboard to share the build with friends. This is nice because a lot of the times when they're like, oh, you should try this build. Oh, you have to search up this and find it. Now you can just send people the ID. So if I have made a new build I want someone to test, I'll just send them the build ID and they can paste it in the search box. Okay, for private lobbies, added the ability to swap players in both teams with one button press. Players can randomly be shuffled across the teams. Allow duplicate heroes in private lobbies. Okay, some more support for that. Certain heroes now have higher priority being in dual lanes. Oh, Ivy and Dynamo now have dual lane priority. Added per player voice volume slider. That's good. Pausing is no longer allowed in the first 3 minutes of the game. This is another thing they've copied from Dota. In Dota, you have to wait a certain amount of time also before pausing. Added Thai and Indonesian localization. Okay, cool. These are mostly just smaller bug fixes. All right, so those are the bug fixes. And then we're going into miscellaneous gameplay. Troopers attack range versus lane guardians reduced from 13.5 to 12 meters. This is good. I felt like the troopers were sometimes too far away. Players now need to be within 19 meters to attack the lane guardian, meaning they have to be above the ramp. This is a big change. Because what a lot of people would do, they would spam a shoot while being on the stairs because you have unlimited ammo while you're sliding and you would be much more safe. So now you're much more exposed if you choose to attack a lane guardian. And I think that's completely valid because I think it was a little bit too easy to kill the guardian. Guardians now take 70% less damage from troopers at the start of the game. This reduces by 10% per minute, max at 30% increased damage at 10 minutes. Okay. So at 7 minutes, they basically have no change, but before 7 minutes, it's a lot harder to push down a Guardian. And then at 10 minutes, it's actually 30% easier to push a Guardian than before. But Guardian damage versus players increased by 20%. This is a great change because this was kind of a big issue where like people would just run down the Guardians when you died once. I think that's a very, very good change. Medium camp spawn time changed from 7 to 5 minutes. Ooh, hard camp spawn time changed from 7 to 8 minutes. Interesting. So this is probably going to make jungle rotations a little bit easier. You know what this means? This means that if you win the lane, you get more benefits. Because me and Red, we've had a lot of times where we dominate a lane and then we've kind of killed the Guardian and then we're 5 minutes in and we have nothing to do. The lane is pushed up to the Walker and we don't really want to keep pushing it to the Walker because then we can easily get ganked. So now because the medium camp spawn at 5 minutes, we can now rotate through the jungle much earlier and start stealing camps from the enemies. This is a good change to make the early game more interesting, I think. That's awesome. Trooper spawn bounty lane. Oh, teleporters also open in 8 minutes. And trooper spawn bounty lane end time change from 10 minutes to 8 minutes. So now all the things that happened at 10 minutes before now happens at 8 pretty much. Same with these sinner Wait, vaults. Is that sinner sacrifice? Vaults, are those the punch bots? I'm assuming that's these guys. And then golden statues and breakable spawn time change from 3 to 2 minutes. Golden statues bonus. Did you guys know that golden statues, they upgrade after a certain time? So for instance, now the golden statues also have a tier 3 upgrade at 25 minutes. So basically you go first at 2 minutes, you can kill golden statues. And then at 10 minutes, they have another upgrade. And then now there's a tier 3 upgrade at 25 minutes. And look at these stats, guys. Look at these stats that you get from golden statues after 25 minutes. 5 spirit power, 7% weapon damage. This is like actually insane. Mid-boss now has regen. The mid-boss buff has now been rescaled from 70% to 50, 70, 90% for the first, second, and third. This is also similar to how they do Roshan and Dota, where like the power level of whatever you get is scaled. The regen respawn timer scaled from 40, 50, 60. Okay. Urn now causes the runner to be revealed. Oh, yes. So this is something I think was a problem in this game, that people would grab the urn and then they would just bait you. So you would stack your entire team on the enemy urn, but they would just camp in the base. Or because you can still melee while you carry the urn, someone would just jungle on their side of the map by just meleeing while holding the urn. So this is a very good change. Heavy melee against the urn runner. Oh my god, wait. Heavy melee against the urn runner now causes them to drop the urn. Oh my god. Oi, oi, oi. Urn delivery now gives each player on your team a golden statue permanent buff. This is good because it means that Urn just wasn't important enough. Because whenever you push really far into their base, you should be rewarded by like getting an urn delivery that is valued a lot. So the bounty is also increased. Urn falls down from the skyline. Nice. Oh wow, this is a great change. This is actually a great change. I don't know why I turned southern there. That's a great change. Comeback formula weighted a little bit less on the team versus team net worth calcula and more strength on the dying hero regardless of lead. Okay, so that just means that if one hero is super farmed and you kill him, you'll get a bigger soul count back. All heroes' movement speed increased by 0.3 and entering speed reduced by 0.3. Okay. Lifesteals now stack diminishingly. Shields no longer reduce damage or get depleted by NPCs. This is a good change. I was actually wondering about that. Teleporters now grant 3 movement speed for a second for 5 seconds after arriving to the other side. Updated teleporter location. Oh, wait. Look at these teleporters. Dude, you can now farm the loser camps much easier. Oh, wait, you can gank. Dude, look how easy you can get. Oh my god, okay. They're definitely making stuff more active. Like 8-minute ganks now are gonna be much more active. All right, move teleports to travel between outer. Yeah, added. This is good though because this also means that it's gonna be easier to defend their walkers. Teleporter in the underground tunnels. Okay, nice. Changed underground teleports to go between subway and tunnel on the same side of the map. Subway and tunnel on, so it's those two to those two. Okay. Widen stairs from shrines back to the player spawn area. Added ledge to mantle up. Oh, so now there's a staircase up here into that walker area. Interesting. Interesting. Moved Guardian back slightly further away from stairs down to the canal. Widened channels surrounding the mid-temple. Widened arc. Okay, so they're making it a little bit easier to fight here. Change ropes so they take it to the second floor. All right. Weapon items. Monster rounds. Weapon damage versus NPCs reduced. This makes sense. Everybody is buying monster rounds these days. Does that make sense? Resto shot reduced. That makes sense. I think Resto shot got a little bit overtuned with the recent buffs. Basic mag buff. Interesting. Melee charge cooldown increase. This also makes sense because everybody just started buying melee charge. It's kind of the same as monster rounds. These two items just suddenly works on a lot of heroes that originally didn't buy them. Long range ammo increased to 25%. Tesla bullets spirit scaling increased from 0.13 to 0.16. It's not a huge change, but I think that Tesla bullets could use a little buff because I think the idea is that Tesla bullets is going to be great in hybrid builds. But you didn't really get that much more damage from Spirit. So, you know, it's a 20% damage increase on the proc. Alchemical Fire now behaves like other grenades and does not bounce off walls. Base DPS increased. Toxic Bullets buildup is 15% slower. That makes sense as well. I think Toxic Bullets is a little bit too good. So making the buildup slower makes sense. Frenzy low HP threshold increased from 40 to 50%. That also makes sense because this item was like very underbought. It was pretty much just bought by like Abrams and Geist and maybe Shiv for some builds and Yamato. A range nerf on the Ricochet I think makes sense. I think that part of the item made it like very strong for Infernus and Haze. So that makes sense. Increased spirit power and silencer. Okay. Added ammo on Vampiric Burst and cooldown reduced. That's good. Slight buff. Spiritual Overflow no longer grants fire rate, but now is an active item. So now you activate it and you gain 35% fire rate and 50% spirit power. So that's gonna make Card Wraith even better because now Card Wraith will come out of Shadow Weave and press Spiritual Overflow, and you will get back the fire rates from the original Shadow Weave plus another 5% plus another 5 spirit power. So that's actually a buff to Shadow Weave Wraith. It's not going to be that good for some other, but that's good for the burst mode. Okay, vitality items. Healing Right, regen duration increased from 17 to 19. Okay, so a small nerf to Healing Right and a buff to extra regen. This makes me very happy because like me and Red talked about, we always prefer using extra regen because it's just always there. And I kind of like the idea of having extra regen in my builds instead of Healing Right. Stamina recovery increased on that one, but fire rate reduced. This also makes sense because some people would just buy it for the fire rate, and I don't think that's the intention of a vitality item. So yeah, they just like basically made some of these items a little bit more vitality. Nerfing entering speed makes sense. This item is like almost bought on every hero, I feel like, so that makes sense. Buffing Resto Locket makes sense. This item has been buffed and nerfed every single patch, actually. But either way, they can't seem to find a sweet spot on Resto Locket. Health Nova slight buff, nothing crazy. Active bullet resist reduced. Okay, so they did nerf return fire. Weapon damage reduced on combat barrier. Fortitude, okay. Ooh, life strike heal increased from 55 to 65. That's pretty good. For my melee Shiv build, that is a huge difference in survivability because at the end you punch for like 1,000 damage. That's nice. Cooldown increased on Majestic Leap, that makes sense. Veilwalker speed increased, that makes sense because they recently removed the fire rate, so this item became a little bit weak. Cast range reduced on Rescue Beam also makes sense. I think this item is a little bit too strong. Leech buffed. Okay, so they did nerf Leech last patch to not have the healing resistance thing anymore. So now they kind of rescaled some of that to its damage output, I guess. And Siphon Bullet also buffed. Okay. Extra Spirit buff, that makes sense. Everybody just bought Ammo Scav instead. Ammo Scav, oi oi oi. Spirit power per soul reduced from 2 to 1, but maxed. Okay, so the max power is the same, but dying makes it much worse because if the stacks run out, it sucks. So hopefully there will be a better indicator now to see if there's actually, like, I wish it could show how long the buff is last for. Withering Whip no longer grants health, now grants bullet shield. Okay, cooldown reduced. Cold Front cooldown reduced. Mystic Vulnerability fixed its stacking with escalating exposure. Slowing Hex, slow reduced. Improved Spirit buffed. Improved Burst nerfed. That also makes sense. I feel like everybody bought this item. And it felt like not a fun item to buy. You just got to buy it because people have a lot of health. And I think you can still buy it. It's just that now it's maybe a little bit more like specifically designed to do damage against Mo and Krill, Shiv, and Abrams. Like heroes with very high HP. Knockdown cooldown reduced. I like this because I do want to add knockdown to my builds. I think this item is underrated and underbought. I think it's better than people think. Ethereal Shift can no longer be ended early. Interesting. So you can't just use it for quick dodge. Torment Pulse interval is now fixed and does not get reduced with cooldown reduction. And superior cooldown now grants Spirit Shield. Here we go. Escalating exposure, damage, nerfed. Amp per stack, nerfed. Duration, nerfed. This all makes sense. If you've guys seen the Ivy build with escalating and some Infernus builds too, this item was just a little overtuned. I think this makes sense. And refresher cooldown increased, I think also makes sense. These are very powerful items on certain builds. Slow reduce from 50 to 40 on Mystic Reverb. Okay. Overall, I think all these item changes are good. There's no like massive changes to the items this time around. I think they are like starting to feel like the items are in a good spot and they're just making slight adjustments to see, because they probably have statistics to see how many people buy them in different builds. So I do want to try add knockdown to more of my builds, to be honest, because 8 seconds is a lot. Now it's time to go to the juicy part, the hero changes. Abrams, base health reduced from 600 to 570. Health per boon increased from 32 to 34. Fixed shoulder charge sensitivity bug that caused it to turn one antenna, okay. Seismic impact now allows for some very minor movement to help nudge around small objects, okay. So they keep like, these are like very minor changes to Abrams. It seems like they're pretty happy with where Abrams is at because he only got minor changes last time too. This is not like something gigantic. Oh shit. Oh no. Oh God. Okay, so it starts off well. Sticky bomb growth increased from 2.5 to 4% per stack. And when I'm reading that, I'm like, wow, wait, they buffed the bomb that much? Surely there's no downside to this. And then you read the next 2 lines. Sticky bomb loses 2 stacks on death. Bomb now has 15 max stacks, meaning that the total amount of plus bomb damage you can have now is 60%. Now, for those of you who have watched some of my longer games, I usually have between 150 to 200%. So you can say that going from that to 60%. Okay, so they reverted the range increase again to 30 meters. So that's good. But now the hook also hits enemy troopers, killing them instantly. This is actually similar to how Pudge works in Dota, because in Dota, one of the strategies against Pudge was always to hide among creeps so that whenever he tries to hook you, it hits the creep instead of insta-kills it. So they've definitely borrowed some tricks from Dota there. Hyper Beam movement slow reduced. Hyper Beam duration no longer scales with spirit power, but they increased its duration. Uppercut now applies a 15% fire rate slow in the landing radius. Scales with spirit power. Oh, interesting. So now people can't fight back as much. Wait, 0.2. So if you have 100 spirit power, that's 20% fire rate extra. Okay. Dude, double bomb BEBOP is officially dead. We are gonna find a way to still make the hero good, and we're gonna find a way to still play him in our playstyle, because I do not want to play gun bop. I do not want to play ult bop. We will find a way. But double bomb BEBOP is dead. Ult BEBOP still works, but it's also a lot weaker because the duration scaling is no longer there. But yeah, we will find a way. We will find a way, guys. Don't worry. There's always a way. All right, then we've got Dynamo quantum entanglement cooldown increased from... Okay, that makes sense. But now the tier 3 reduced. This I agree with, because I felt like he had too short of a cooldown in the laning stage to dodge stuff. Fixed kinetic pull to clarify it's only bullet damage. Okay. Next up, we have our boy Grey Talon. Grey Talon, in my opinion, is currently the weakest hero in the game, so let's see what they do with him. Arrow cycle time increased to 55. Overall DPS unchanged. Rain of arrows ultimate cast causing to hit the ground soon. Okay. Fixed collision on Guided Owl. Okay. Fire rate no longer scales with spirit power. Base bullet damage now scale with spirit powers. Guided Owl grace period for kill increased to 4 seconds. Fixed Guided Owl grace period still requiring that he gets the kill. Dude, I think this is so dumb. Like, it is so weird how you have a global ult, right? And then the idea is that the global ult is gonna get a kill, and if you get a kill, you get 5 spirit increase. So why don't they add assists to that? Why don't they add assists to that? Because it makes no sense. It's like a 4-second grace period, but whenever your owl hits them on this feels so weird to me because it doesn't make sense with the way the ult works. It feels like they want you to buy Diviner's Kevlar and just face tank an Abrams and ult him, and then oh wait, am I reading this the wrong way? Oh wait. Okay. Can we just say that this is not the best way to write that? Can we just all agree that it's very easy to misunderstand this sentence based on how this is written? Or am I just dumb? Maybe I'm just dumb. That is also okay. Movement speed no longer scales with spirit power. Oh. Okay, so you know what? This is what we call a rebalance of his toolkit. The owl getting plus spirit on assists is a gigantic buff, because you will probably now get anywhere from like 20, 30, 40, 50 extra spirit power in a game because it also works on assists. He no longer moves at Mach speed because his movement speed doesn't scale with spirit power, because I think that would just make him too powerful now that this works. There is one thing that is really good about this though. It is that now the problem with Great Talon before was that it didn't feel like a gun Talon would need spirit. It gave some fire rate, but now it actually just increases the base bullet damage. So that does mean that hybrid builds will still be pretty good. And there is still a reason why, basically, gun Talon very rarely gets kills with the owl because it does much lower damage. But now, because it can work as an interrupt and a stun, you can still use it and get that extra spirit power. And then they also gave him an extra stamina, so now he joins Ivy as the only 2 characters who has 4 stamina. So this is like a rebalancing of his kit. I don't know if it makes him that much stronger, but we'll have to see. Definitely not as butchered as BEBOP got, but we'll have to make a new tier list pretty soon. Haze Fixation's max stack increased from 30 to 40. Fixation tier 3 reduced from, okay. Bullet Dance no longer grants fire rate. Bullet Dance no longer grants 2 targets hit per shot. No longer grants evasion. And now that's all added to the tier 3 ult. So it seems like what they want is Haze to still have that power spike later in the game if you focus on the ult build, but the actual default power level of the ult is lower. And I think that's fair because let's say you play a BEBOP ult build, you're useless until you get that tier 3 talent with the 100% lifesteal. And it just did feel a little bit weird that Haze had such a powerful ult. Oh, base ability now grants 2 targets hit. Oh, I see. Oh, because this was the upgrade before. Sorry. Infernus Catalyst damage amp reduced from 25 to 20. Infernus Catalyst damage amp increased. Okay, so this is the same treatment that Shiv got previous patch, where they put more of the power of abilities in the upgrades and less in the default settings, which I think makes sense. I think that the upgrades are supposed to feel strong, and it's supposed to feel like you're kind of like taking a direction with your build based on what upgrade path you're choosing. Okay, Ivy. Improve default camera position. Take flight control keys are now similar to Vindicta's. Fix some issues with... So nothing. Okay, interesting. I swear the devs love this hero. The devs love Ivy so much. They did a nerf on her last week. I don't think that nerf was that much. Lady Guys fixed the bug that could cause some units to take more damage than intended with Essence Bomb when multiple targets are hit. Life Drain can now be alternate casted on allied heroes. This is another thing that comes from Dota, where Pugna can Life Drain allied heroes. So does that give health to her? Added double tap accidental protection for Life Drain to help against instant cancellation. That makes sense. Slow duration reduced from Malice. Amp duration reduced. Okay, so they nerfed Malice a little bit. You can now see how many Malice stacks you have on you as the opponent. Okay, this was good because sometimes you wouldn't know that Geist had like 17 Malice stacks on you and you just try to fight her and it wouldn't go great. Ooh, they finally nerfed Gun Lash. Flog heal versus creep reduced. Flog heal versus heroes reduced to 70. Flog heal versus creep reduced. Honestly, the Flog build was pretty annoying to deal with. It probably still is, to be fair, but like he just like heals up to max if he has superior improved burst. because the flog procs it and the lifesteal is based on the damage done. All right, here we go. Oh, this is a big one. McGinnis no longer has 25% spirit resist, now has 15% bullet resist instead. Mini turrets tier 1 no longer grants an extra charge. So it's just that she has to buy extra charge to be able to do another one. Mini turrets duration reduced, cooldown reduced, health scaling reduced, recharge time reduced. Wait, so this is the time it takes for the ability to get reduced. I guess that's the nerf because of the 1 charge less, so that's a lower recharge time. Cast range increased. Mini turret damage reduction against troopers and neutrals. Increased damage reduction against objectives as well. Fixed ricochet not bouncing off of mini turrets. Mini turret spawn time reduced. Mini turret attack delay reduced. Heavy barrage radius increased. Okay, so if I understand this correctly, this is mostly like a rebalance to the toolkit. She will have like 1 less turret overall, but lower cooldowns, lower durations, and she no longer has minus 25. She no longer has plus 25% spirit resist. So she becomes much less tanky against spellcasting for sure. This is like so many different numbers that I kind of just have to see like how it plays out. I feel like we have to like see what she feels like in game. Doesn't this mean that you just can have fewer turrets up at the same time overall? Duration reduced and cooldown reduced. Okay. Mirage. Tornado uses a range for its travel distance instead of duration. This makes sense because it was just weird. Enemies that are hit by fire scarabs now let the next scarab projectile pass through them. Jin's Mark base damage reduced from 16 to 12. Jin's Mark scaling from spirit power increased to 0.55. Reveal duration increased from 2 to 3. This is to make the mark more powerful for spirit builds and less powerful for gun builds, because more of the damage from the mark now comes from spirit scaling and not just the actual base damage. Which I think makes sense because I felt like the gun build was stronger and it still did a lot of damage with Jin's Mark even without spirit. This is a big buff. Traveler now causes your camera to move to the destination during the channel. I think this is a big buff because sometimes when you ult, it's really easy to get like lost in what direction you're supposed to go to. This makes like your combos much smoother. You get more info. Also, this also means that you have a chance to cancel your ult because like there's been some times when you play Mirage and you teleport into the enemies and you think it's a fair fight. And then when you arrive, there's like 3 dead heroes and like enemies are all at full health. Yeah, this is kind of like Omen teleport in Valorant for those who have seen that. And they also changed, so now the first tier 1 talent is movement speed and the second one is cooldown reduction. And the fire rate is increased. Okay, so this is pretty good. It's gonna make it more fun and smooth to play with and more like smooth to gank with as well. So yeah, all right. Mo and Krill combo now grants bullet resist while channeling. No longer grants cooldown reduction. Okay, that's good. Okay, never mind. Dude. I'm so tired of this damn hero, bro. Oh, when I saw the bullet resist instead of cooldown, I was like, oh, maybe finally they like no longer have that cooldown reduction talent. And then they just reduced the cooldown by, okay, to be fair, it's still 8 seconds less, okay? It's still 8 seconds less, but this is overall a buff to Krill. I do not think he needs a buff. I do understand the bullet resist because he's a big chunky dude, but man, this ult is so busted, bro. Okay. Paradox bullet growth per boon increased. Paradox had some of the lowest win rates and she's really good in high elo and then really bad in low elo. So I'm excited to see how they adjust that. Time while bullet duration reduced. Fixed time while not being spawned while looking down. Yes. So they're rebalancing the toolkit because the ult had such a short, cool... Wait, okay. Never mind. Okay, well, at least they reduced the range. Never mind again, bro. Dude, what is this? Oh, we reduced the cooldown, but then... No, we increased the cooldown, but then we reduced the cooldown and talent. But then we reduced the range, but then we increased the range. You're playing with my feelings, Valve. You're playing with my feelings. Okay. Grenade radius reduced from 7 to 6, but the amp stacks increased. The tier 3 now... Oh, this is big. A grenade tier 3 no longer increases damage amp by 2%, but it increases the radius by 1 meter per pulse. Oh, well, that's definitely better. That's not bad at all. Okay, pocket. Shotgun fall of start reduced from, oh, thank God. Enchanter satchel damage respect line of sight, thank God. Satchel now shows an AoE indicator for pocket while channeling. Okay. Affliction DPS Spirit's power scaling reduced. Thank God. Barrage radius. Yes. And now you have to max barrage to get the same read. Yes. 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 Thank you. Thank you. This was so damn needed. This was, I'm sorry, but this was so damn needed. Pocket was just way too strong, man. Like in every aspect of the game, in the laning stage, the mid game, the late game, always way too strong. This definitely helps a lot. All right, 7 base regen. Oh, wow. Wait, 7 base regen increased by 1.5 up to, dude. 3 base regen is very good. Movement speed scaling with spirit power reduced. Can now use a dash while in Stormcloud to adjust your position. Wait, that's kind of funny. Wait, that's actually kind of sick, no? Wait, the dash was removed but not from the notes. Yoshi said so? Really? They removed the Stormcloud dash already? Oh man. Okay. Lightning Bolt tier 3 increased from 1 meter to 2 meters. Oh, so they made the ball build even stronger. Shiv, Slice and Dice spirit damage scaling increased. Slice and Dice tier 1 improved from 3.75 to 4 seconds. Decay rate reduced from 0.35 to 0.25. Rage buffer duration increased from 7 to 12 seconds. Yo, Shiv buffs. Let's go. This is the, you know guys, let us all remember that this is the first day in the history of Shiv that he's not been nerfed. I will say that it is pretty clear that the issues they had with Shiv was the dagger build. And that dagger build is pretty much unchanged. Slice and Dice is the dash ability. This actually makes my melee Shiv build much stronger. Especially this thing, because melee generates so much more rage. So if you guys if there's ever a time for you guys to try out melee Shiv, this is a good time. And I also have a guide on my YouTube channel if you guys want to learn how to play it. Oh, Vindicta has a lot of changes. Reverted recent fall off damage changes. Okay, so now her fall off is just like slightly better than the others. Bullet damage growth per boon reduced from 0.79 to... Okay, so she gains less bullet damage from leveling up. Flight duration no longer scales with spirit power. Okay, so she can no longer permanently fly, but now she gets increased flight duration by 6 seconds during tier 2. Okay. Bonus move speed above base now scales at 50% effectiveness. This is great because the big issue with Vindicta was how fast she could fly around the map at some point. And now that's adjusted. No longer has 10 base bullet resist minus. That's okay. Health growth per boon reduced, so she gets less health gain. Gun cycle time increased, but DPS is the same. Stake duration reduced. Assassinate bonus souls is now unsecured. Nice. This is a big change because sometimes Vindicta would get like an assassinate kill in the middle of a fight and everybody would get a bunch of souls and then they instantly die after, but they secure the souls and have a net gain from the fight. And now they would drop those souls if they die right after. So this means that it's no longer worth it to just like sacrifice for a trade because then you just give those unsecured souls to the enemy. That's a big nerf, but I think it's a very important nerf because Vindicta is the only hero in the game that has an ability that increases your souls gain. Like the only ability in the game that can affect the economy of the game. All right. Shooting while flying now has similar speed impacts as on the ground. Nice, because she used to not get slowed when she was shooting. This means that you probably want to buy Fleetfoot on Vindicta now, to be honest. Flight air acceleration decreased a little, and Crow familiar % damage no longer affects mid-boss. Okay. I think this definitely makes her less strong than she was 2 patches ago. She got a big nerf last patch, and maybe that was a little bit too much. And now they're trying to kind of like rebalance it a little bit where you can still play those like similar movement speed builds and stuff, but it's not that crazy. So I think this should put her in a spot where she's more fun to play overall. Okay, Viscous, Goo Ball no longer triggers on hit effects while in Ethereal Shift. Thank God, bro. This shit was so busted. You could just Ethereal Shift on someone in a corner and they would just get perma-stunned until they died. That was like absolutely busted. Fixed superior stamina dash count not working with Goo Ball. Okay, Goo Ball stun duration reduced. This is also good. So one thing that was really hard with Goo Ball was if you're in like a small area and he rolls over you, then he would hit a wall and come back, and you would like just not have enough time to like double jump out of it. So he could just like perma-stun you back and forth. So the stun reducing from 1 second to 0.7 might not seem like a lot, but I think that's actually a huge nerf because I think it's gonna be much harder to perma-stun people because you should be able to like dash or double jump out before he comes back and stuns you again. This is great. This was very needed. Splatter base damage reduced, splatter tier 2 reduced, and increased spirit scaling. So this is the same as some of the earlier thing we saw with Mirage, where they want to put more of the damage in the spirit scaling and less in the, like if you play a gun build, for instance, and you don't build spirit items. So I think this is also a good change. A fixed instant cast, not working pile push. Okay. Oh my god, we almost made it to the end. Alchemical Flask cooldown reduced to 12 seconds for Warden. Okay. Alchemical Flask damage increase. Alchemical Flask is now +1 stamina reduction. Was that originally the tier 2 talent that was stamina reduction? Because this is going to be a lot better in the laning stage now if that's the case. I also agree with this. I think Warden, like I said in the previous tier list of ultimates, I think Warden had the worst ult in the game. The channel time was too long and the range too short. So they changed it a little bit. I think this change is enough for people to definitely start playing the Majestic Leap build. So recently, I don't know if you guys have seen Hydration's Warden build, where you buy Majestic Leap and you play Spirit Warden with very low cooldowns on your ult. You're definitely going to be seeing that a lot in the game now, because this is the like reducing the channel duration and increasing the range. I think this puts Warden in a much more competitive spot. And also in the laning stage, now if you track their stamina pretty well, like this is actually a pretty big change that he gets this straight away, because now he can focus his talents on the other abilities and just get 1 point in stamina reduction. All right, Wraith card trick spirit scale reduced again. Thank you. I'm glad they saw that it wasn't enough. And card trick generation via melee reduced by 50%. This also makes sense because she got the cards back so fast by meleeing. All right. Yamato's power slash cooldown increased from 8.5 to 10. Power slash now tier 2 now also. Okay, so this is the same as the other heroes where they rebalanced some of the power to the tier 2 and tier 3 upgrades. Shadow transformation no longer grants you bullet and spirit resist. Shadow transformation duration. Oh, wow. Okay, so Yamato got shafted. So for those who don't know, when Yamato ults, she gets a big bullet and spirit resist. And when you have certain amount of lifesteal items, this means that when you ult, you could sometime fight a lot and then you would get a lot of health back because of how much resistance you had. Now when you ult, you're definitely just going to be permanently at 1 health. And the ult lasts half a second shorter too. This is a big nerf, but a welcome nerf. You know what, guys? If you guys are going to kill my BEBOP like that, if you guys are gonna absolutely just shaft, like literally bitch slap double bomb BEBOP across the face, at least we'll take Yamato with us. That's all I'm saying.